Thank you very much for coming today. It's cool here. It's 80 degrees today. It's like a wondering. I know up north they still have heat, but it's been maybe a couple months we've had hot weather. So hopefully I'll get out and get to enjoy some of that today. So I've had a lot of things going through my experience today and what we should talk about. Certainly always light. But then we have a question here from Chase. So let me welcome everyone, and we'll set the energy, and we'll get about. What I want to suggest is I had made a suggestion. If those of you have uh, crystals or stones, things that are precious to you and want to have them out, I will try to help you with it from here, and perhaps a grid to have them on, or which one to wear. It depends on your intent and what you want from it. And if you have a personal stone, bring it out, because it'll be very powerful to have it come and be in the energy. And I will show you mine. So let's say good morning and thank you for coming today to Chase and Cavell. And Barbara Ward, good morning. And it's where we are so far today. And welcome to all of you who are out there and not coming in and putting your name on the board. That's perfectly fine. If you do come and like the page today, hit the like button. That would be great for the channel. And if you'd like to look at having a session with me, that information's in the statement below. And I also take donations. So thank you for anything that you might feel in your heart to be guided to. So first we're going to call in Mother and Father. Have them come down into the depth of our hearts. And why do we do this first? Because the most important relationship to being a light soul is to have that relationship with Mother and Father. And how better to begin to nurture it and have it grow than to have it come and sit within you together in union within the heart and have their love move through you. That is the relationship between you and God, is becoming the vessel. And it's not about you are the one that has the power. You are the one who has developed to have the capacity to hold their light and have it move through you. All right, so we'll call in all the different angelic phylums. At some point here, we'll be having our understanding about all the angels and the ascended masters. There are so many. And to all the light souls out in the universe, those who are living light, walking with an intention of light, are more than welcome to come and to join us. And as we know, our tube of light around our protection has been set. We reach up to the great central sun asking for Lord Gautama Buddha to bring his beautiful blue protective flame down around all of us and this channel, allowing only love in. Thank you. And now let's say our mantra. I am the soul. I am the light divine. I am love. I am will. I am fixed design. Excellent. So, if nothing more, perhaps you can feel our energy has grown, expanded, lifted up since the beginning just by centering ourselves, which is an important realization to have. All right. Good morning, Carol. All right. So I was wondering how everyone felt after their last couple weeks of messages. They've been very powerful from my perception. But if anyone wants to write about it, you can. Or if you have a question that you'd like answered, like I have one here from Chase today, and we're going to look at that. So she says, is the fated life and destiny life the same? Do we choose these lives before we are born? It's a very good question. And I have one question for you, Chase. What do you mean by fated? Do you mean a karmic life? Because there are those of us who lead a karmic life, and there are those of us who live a life of love. So you give me that, or what your understanding of fated is, and then I'll give you back the answer. Because it makes a difference. I don't use that word fated, so I don't know what that means to you. But everyone, before you are born, has let's call it a birth agreement. It's written. I have seen them. And has on it what you're going to achieve and how. Like, are you going to be controlling, or are you going to be stubborn? Those kind of things are all written on it. Because for some of you, those are going to be things that perhaps you need to work through and transform. Have you ever heard that Earth is a school? And that's what it's definitely about. Earth is where you come with and through our emotions. We can learn and grow and become more higher consciousness. So let me see. Maybe Chase came on earlier and not still here. Well, she must still be here. So I'm going to take fated as karma. And what is karma? Karma is when something has been experienced in a negative way. Like if you've killed someone in one life, eventually to balance that karma, they're gonna kill you. And the only way out of that now is we do have the violet flame. So by using the violet flame can heal a lot of these karmic issues that you do bring in with you. But yes, it's true. That karmic life is the same as the destiny, because everyone has a destiny to achieve. Does that mean you're complete with your? No. That just means that maybe by the end of this life, you know freedom. And somewhere along the life, you will have understandings and experiences that come to you that will have you find deep within your heart what freedom really means. And find, oh, here she is. It didn't tell me more we're down here. Just a minute. Keeps going out. Oh, these are all hellos. Okay. So there's a lot of choices that it leaves you. If you go upon your path and go about the study of the light and raising your consciousness, you can certainly add the violet flame to your process. So whatever you want to call it, whatever are there that are your stumbling blocks, you're being offered them again because somewhere in another life, maybe for a lot of lives, you have not been able to achieve the resolution of feeling that way, like always feeling attacked when people just are trying to talk to you. A lot of different things. But in that life, there will be a destiny. Doesn't mean you have to achieve it. But for a lot of people, when they are in the process of leaving this life, they have achieved what they came here for. Now, that means the next life will already begin to be contemplated because you go and you sit with masters to go over your life and to observe. And maybe help you see things how when you were on earth you did not see. You see? And that's a process of the growth of light is all about the perception. The perception within you lies within two places. It's your ability to how you use and perceive through your third eye, but also for those who get to where they can perceive through their heart and radiate healing and love through their heart also. So let me see if Chase has gotten back to me. Yeah, maybe she can't hear me. Okay. And good morning, Kathy Marino and Marby. Yes, glad to have you here. So it's quite an experience. And yes, you do choose your parents. And so what makes you make that choice is what your main issue is to heal. And I've sat with times when people's energy was being looked over, and the one thing that they're told that was for their destiny would have been that which would be the most heartbreaking, or however you want to. It's what needs to be changed about who they are. So, birth agreements. Yes, you're right. There she is. So, the most fascinating about all that to me was how just even simply being stubborn is written in that chart, the destiny chart, birth chart, whatever you want to call it. And there are beings who have brought forth the way to not only have that come up, but how to understand it and to help get you through the healing of those things. That's why we always say you need a teacher, a master, a mentor to help you evolve. Because most things you just wouldn't see yourself. You wouldn't understand. The repetition of something continuing happening to you means that it's something that there's healing necessary. And you would probably not be able to see the width or the depth of it. I know for myself, I have like 790 times I've been ran over by a stagecoach. Now, how would I know that? But those things mean something. And I can understand because I always have not a fear anymore, but I can remember having a fear of crossing the street or something running my way. So those things are within our consciousness. And yes, just as importantly as simpler things on an emotional level also have to be clear. Okay, so Chase, I hope that answers your question. And when you're finally on your destiny and you are living it, that is the greatest joy and love that there is. For, a day of work can be challenging and other regular jobs. But when you work with God, there's only joy, there's only happiness, and there's only love. So I hope that brought clarity for a number of you. So the subject, did anybody have a stone they wanted to ask me about before I go on to another subject? Anybody? Well, what I was requested to talk to you about today was truth. what it is. How do you discover it within you? Where does it lie? Or where does disbelief lie within you? And to have a recognition, thank you, Chase says it brought clarity. If you want to work on truth within yourself, where would you go? You know, that's what the chakras are all about. They are where those unseen things are hidden. Yes, I can use the word hidden because a lot of who we are as a human being is, well, I don't know what the word I want to use, but can figure out how to make things hard. You know, and not want you to see. Because remember, there's 144,000 parts of you that want you to love them and appreciate and adore them. And when you start to look at things, and you have to understand that's a part of who you have been before, it can be difficult for that part of you unless you have the ability to express a lot of love, which on the path you certainly learn to do. It stays hidden. So truth lies in two areas. It's going to lie in the third eye, but it's also going to be within the heart. And I'm going to say what I see here mostly for some people in the group is there's a lot of cords and tangles around truth. So what does that mean? My interpretation is it means, because usually people on the path are working with a relationship, whether it be within yourself, within you and God, or with family or loved ones. So I'm going to say there's a lot of difficulty in the impression of how life works that way for you. Okay, Chase has an orange calcite crystal. Is it a sphere? I'm going to try and keep both things going here. Chase, is your orange calcite crystal a sphere, like a ball? Or is it this shape? This is an angel wing, if you want to have intuitive things come to you. They're still plentiful out there. I believe the name is called an anapole, but they're known as angel wings. Looks pretty good, huh? Chrysocolla for the throat. Yeah. So I want to go back to the truth. And so the word struggle comes about truth for a lot of people that are here. And that's coming to you from doubt. Doubt that you can believe in the truth of you, trust you. Oh, it's almost shaped like a heart. Uh-huh. I would assume that's, is it on the table or is it in a necklace? Okay, I'll be there in a minute, Cadell. This is good. So, my question to you, Chase, when you have that over your heart, is it tiny or how big is it? And what happens to your energy field? Pink quartz is a lovely stone. Rose quartz, I would assume, which is all about love. It fits on my hands. So, can you give me inches? So, those of you who are working with me with the struggle, we're going to call in Michael, Archangel Michael, and have him, if you desire, to start cutting away some of these cords of struggle, preventing you from being willing to see the truth, hear the truth, speak the truth. Uh-huh. So I would place that in your left hand. Energy comes in through the left, moves through the heart, and out the right. So if you're wanting it to help you have stillness in your meditation, I would have it bathe that light as it comes in to move into the heart. Felt very peaceful to me. So do that for a moment and then let me know if you can feel your energy field expand doing it that way. So what came up there as we did that release was speaking. Certainly there's a quality of truth in the speaking of every word, because the intention of the front of that throat is to speak the essence of God. So it is created and built to be truth. But you have to realize, just as I must realize, not every soul upon this earth speaks truth through this chakra. So it's a development. It's a listening to yourself and loving yourself. And this is why forgiving is so powerfully existent in the world of the one who walks her path or his path, because it's always a necessary tool to what you discover as you then must forgive. And the truth is that God already has forgiven you. So you need not ask for that. You need to ask and allow it from within yourself. Okay. Now I want to talk about a personal stone. Let me show you mine. She's called Illumination. I've had her since about 2010. So when I grasp her, and I'm really about things that are comfortable in my hand, there's just magic that happens. There's not only peace, there's love, there's joy, there's expansion. And at that point, a stone becomes a working stone. It is doing something with you, for you, in togetherness. So this would not ever again be shared with anyone else because it becomes at one with you. Yes. So now I want you to take your awareness, Chase, to your whole field. Like, I don't feel this just in my hand. I feel it take me out and through and expand, Marty says. Very good. Thank you for sharing, Marty. Have you ever, you know I'm not a doctor, done a castor oil pack on your liver? Uh, I did many of them. That's why I'm suggesting you can write to me and ask if you're interested. But a lot of, like mine was my naturopath told me, and it just pulls it out without really any pain. I just did it every day for like 20, 25 minutes. And I've heard they're quite readily available to purchase now. So, wow, I only knew. But I would say if it were me stating what you're stating, I would be doing castor oil packs. Okay, you take a white washcloth, I put it in a bag and get all over it. Put it on my side over the liver and put saran wrap over that. And I put a hot water bottle for 20, 25 minutes. It's so calming. But your liver heals and releases in the process. But don't take my word for it. Again, I am not a doctor. As myself being a patient at one time, that's what worked for me. So you can always seek out a naturopath who will know more about it. Okay. So Chase, are you feeling more with that stone when you allow it to become more? See, I think here's a big thing with stones is you pick them up, well, it's just right there. These stones can reach out to the universe. Let me show you the stone I use now, which I'm looking for a new one. How about that? But stones get larger as your energy can tolerate them. So you can see it moves the energy here. Okay, so incorporating crystals is a very powerful thing into your field. Very good. So you want to be very rooted and let yourself become awake with the stone, and your field will change. And that is what it's all about, truly. It's not just being right here. You have to experience everything. Okay. So rose quartz. Let's see, Cavell. Yeah. Now, how big is your pink quartz, Cavell? You know, stones, quartz, crystals don't have to be big to be powerful. Depends on what kind of stone it is. I have some ahawite. I have a large one. I also have one that's about this big, but it's only the turquoise piece, which is probably more powerful than the big one that has a very little bit of it in it. The white crystal helps to radiate it. So are you still there, Cavell? So, Marby, don't worry about the liver. What that is do something with it. Not to take a pill but again, I'm not a doctor. But castor oil packs work really great. You can find that on the internet. People who do them themselves and how they felt. Yes, I'm not a doctor. This is just for fun. Yeah, I don't know about that. That sounds like something you would drink, right? Mine wasn't anything you put in you, it was just on you. So, Cavell, are you there? I don't know that I've ever had an orange calcite. What was its wording of what it said it did for you? Was it stillness? Okay. So I will go back to my lecture on truth. So if anybody wants any more help with their things, you need to write it in. And so truth, crown, the third eye, throat, and the heart. So there's a lot of confusion about truth and who's right, who's wrong. Is there a right and a wrong? Well, when we move into the fifth dimension, there are no things that are wrong. There's no black, no white. There's no right or wrong. There's no best or last. All those situations and conditions fall away, which makes a huge change in who you are. You see? And it's a growth. How do we know when we have attained the fifth level of fifth dimension? There's not going to be not much knowing. You will have changed. How you see, how you perceive, how you feel, how you choose to interact, react to things will be different. So many of the things that you have chosen to be contemplating, working on, moving through, will definitely become something different. There'll be a greater peace in your life, a greater joy, and a harmony. That's about it, and yet so much more. But there's no hiding the fact when you have become fifth dimension. That's why we go to Shasta so often. It's simply fifth dimension there. Literally, people who went with us didn't think about him. Do you know how normally if you would go away, it would be, oh, I gotta do this, I can't wait with this. It doesn't happen because it doesn't exist there. And you don't want to go home, which I know doesn't sound like it's a good thing, but it is good for the body to become in peace. Even the little dogs are different. They stand outside the store looking to say hello. It's not like they're just different. They have a different consciousness. All right, Barbara, let's see here. So, can you tell me which one is your largest stone? And are any of them ones you can wear, or are you going to want to create a grid? And is your white quartz Lemurian? Lemurians are and I don't have one here to show you, very powerful, and they'll have a lot of lines on it with information that gets stored from the ancient Lemurians in that stone. And as you sit and meditate with it, revelations can come to you, all depending on an individual's growth. Well, I would say you're probably having a challenge with your device because you're really supposed to hear something powerful. We tend to, well, don't do that. I'm very drawn to your amethyst, but again, I would love to know how they look. And the citrine, yellow's my ray. You wouldn't believe it with all the blue, would you? Well, yellow's wisdom. And that is what citrine is there in your journey there for you. It's not only wisdom, but it's prosperity, not only meaning in money, but it could be in a prosperity of light. So, two very powerful stones, and certainly the amethyst resonates with the violet flame and Saint Germain. And the pink quartz, which I would call rose quartz, is about love and joy and peace. So, if I had one I could wear, I would hope it would be the amethyst. And perhaps the citrine also. I can feel a lot of radiation from those too. The pink quartz, I would put in my right hand, and the white quartz in the left when you sit. So if you cannot wear the amethyst and citrine, I would set them in front of you, if that helps. So tell me how that feels to you, Barbara. You're welcome, Marby. Okay, they are all unpolished. 3 inches. It looks like they just came off a mountainside. Yeah, good. Well, I'm suggesting that you start to put, this is a powerful thing, to enhance your energy field. See, this just expands. So if I put my personal stone and the light that comes in, they're all different. It's finding which one allows you to sit, especially if you're someone that's going to want to sit and be a receiver of light and write about things. You want to have your tools right around you, working through you, because the light comes in the left, through the heart, and out the right. Very good. You can ask me a question or tell me that feels good to you. I really like, well, of course, I really like the energy of the citrine. A lot of people don't get it, but it's very powerful. It has a lot of wisdom, intelligence, but in a different way. Not like a human intelligence, it's a intelligence from the masters, the capacity. Okay. Certainly that amethyst you can have so tuned in to Saint Germain. You pick it up and that flame will be right there with you. And they'll be all working stones. At least if I had them. That's why I have so many things here, because they're working. They're helping, supporting me and my intentions and my work with God and what I do. So it's all powerful. And it's going to help you with truth also. So let me go back. We released all these cords. So it's Wednesday, And we kind of have the weekend. So why doesn't everyone try just writing a paragraph or what truth really means to them and what makes you. See, we have to bring the word believe in here because do you believe the truth that you get? Or what is it? How do you feel? We're just going about a simple investigation within yourself. So you have truth and you have believing. What do you discover about yourself if you take time to do that this weekend? It's different when you write it because you can sit and get a lot of information that flows through. But when you have to go about writing it, something changes. And that itself, I want you to feel. When we were in Thailand, every meditation we did, which was maybe 20 some of them a day, we had to write what happened. And sometimes it was just thoughts. And sometimes it had an awareness that was made. One time I saw myself as water, and apparently that's what we're going to be someday as water people. So sitting and writing and putting down, because what you're beginning to do is connect to your higher self and letting him or her have an avenue to teach you. So it's a positive thing. You may enjoy it. Oh my goodness, wouldn't that be wonderful? Maybe you've done it before. So sit with those two words and see what comes through you. And I think this will be another whole awareness and place for all of you. All right. Anything else from anybody? So what words are you going to write about? Truth and believe. Yeah. Always for me as a young girl, I remember Walt Disney and Jiminy Cricket. And it was always how he just wrote that believe. But do you really believe? Or is it still all just a fantasy for you? Interesting, isn't it? When you really go to think and follow your thoughts, what is it about believing? And then what is it about truth? Who in your life has been truthful to you? Who in your life hasn't? And what about yourself? Then we're going to be able to go back to that birth and destiny sheet and have an understanding of why those things are there and how it all cultivates an experience of your life right now in this moment. And what you're doing with it, you see? All right? Let me see if anyone's written further down here. It doesn't seem to be working well today. Okay. So I want you to really grasp that you have another whole life with your crystals because they are alive. You know, like I play the crystal bowls. There is a deva with every bowl, and they play the bowls. I don't. Most people who play bowls don't understand that. And it makes a difference. It makes a difference when you surrender to the entity that's there to bring about the truth. Okay, let me make sure no one else made a comment here. I just love that about your liver, Marby. I'm going to pray for that for you, if you would like. So I guess not. Sounds like a number of you have beautiful things. You know, there's a part of us that all love to go crystal shopping. We're like friends. And like every time I'd go somewhere, I'd learn something different. I'd learn that they work for you. I didn't know that at first. Like people, when you go in a store, there's some that will say, not for sale, that's because it's a working stone. It's bringing people in. It's making them feel comfortable. It's guiding them to the one that is needed by them. Things that can be all around you. Very good, Barbara. Yes, I would say everyone who's been coming here for a while has grown, no doubt in my mind. Her name is Illumination, did I tell you? She was sent to me by my friend who does crystals, and it had Illumination written on it. TheoSophia. Now you see, she's a Lemurian. She's got writing here on it. Yeah. Information. Thank you, Marby. Yes, I'm going to go. There should be no holiday on Monday. I will be here. Ooh, a small piece of amethyst from Japan. My nephew brought it back for me. So, all know when you buy something new, first thing you do is sit for maybe 10, 15 minutes and run the loud flame through it. First thing. And if you have any San Paulo, smoke some of that around it. Because you want it to be in its clarity so you can really grasp the whole experience of it. These things are coming up in my way, I can't see. So, you know why that's really fascinating to me is Sanat Kumara, who's my universal teacher, when he was called from Venus to come to the earth, all the Kumaras, where he stepped upon the earth was Japan. So that's very powerful experience to have wisdom about perhaps that time if you sit and ask your amethyst about it. All these twists and turns. Well, good, Chase. I'm glad you did. There's always more where that is. It's a never-ending experience. It's about 2 inches tall. I think that's a beautiful size. And certainly one you can effortlessly just have in your hand and use if you don't have a necklace. But it would also be a perfect size to have it wire wrapped so you can wear it. And very fascinating. Yeah, that's why there's understanding that these hands are alive also. And that within each hand there's a crown, a third eye, a throat, solar plexus, sacral, and root. They're all there in each finger. So they're all, when you use your hands, picking up and taking that information into all of you. Good, Barbara. See, we could just all keep talking for forever. There's so much. So blessings to everyone. And yeah, today's Wednesday, right? Monday was a Labor Day thing. And update with my grandson. I did get to talk to him. He loved England. They never got to Spain. And we were going up and we're not now. So he says, I don't care. I just want to come and spend a long time with you. How that's ever going to work out, I don't know. We'll see. But it was very nice. So, many blessings to everyone. May you have a day full of love and joy. And thank you for coming. And don't forget to thumbs up it. Good night. Bye bye.